Good afternoon, guys. MWUSA Season 3, Episode 220. First, I want to start off with apologizing to about 50 of you who, as soon as I publish something, you guys jump on it and listen to it. I love you guys. I appreciate it. But I was just doing a test. So, Episode 216, Season 3, Episode 216, was not appearing in Spotify, but it was appearing on all other platforms. So I was just trying to figure out what was going on. So I unpublished it, republished it, and then republished Season 3, Episode 220, which was the same file as 216, just trying to fix it, and it wasn't working. So every platform worked except for Spotify, which is odd, because all the other platforms get their feed from Spotify. So I finally reconverted it to another MP3, still didn't work. I went to this cloud converter, converted it again, and it finally worked. So then the problem was it was out of order. Then I had to go in and change the publication date. Got that all done. Everything is good. So hopefully those 50 people will listen to this episode, because I only had it up for like 20 minutes and everybody was listening to it, and I appreciate it so much. But this is Season 3, Episode 220, Corrected. I might even put corrected in the title. So let's see. A lot of stuff to talk about here. We'll see in a few minutes how loud my car is. I did take my car in and had the tires rotated, hoping that that's what the problem is, but I kind of feel like it was not the problem. It might be a ball bearing or something like that. I don't know, a bearing. Wheel bearing, whatever they call it. So if that's what it is, whatever, we'll get that fixed. But right now, we are on our way. At the end of last week, I did have low coolant again, so I put the rest of my coolant in there. I got some more yesterday. I'm thinking probably the plastic reservoir is probably damaged and leaking slowly, but I'm better off just putting in $10 worth of coolant every 2 or 3 months rather than try to get that fixed. So that's that. And then also, like, the middle console in my car, the storage area between the two seats, that's got a spring in it, and it kept on opening up, and the latch to close it broke off. It had 2 different pieces holding it. They both broke off. So I had this idea of getting some flat magnets and putting them on there, but I was worried they were going to peel. So I ended up using Velcro instead, and it worked, but it worked too well. The Velcro is so good that when you open it, it peels off. So the actual sticky part came off. So later on, I'll get some super glue and put that on there, and that should be good. All that should be fine. I've been struggling to keep up with so many things lately. So I did finally look at my chart for October. We are still in October today. It's October 27th, but I wanted to see where I was. I wanted to get caught up on everything. So I entered last week's stuff into my spreadsheet, and I got all the results here for you. Last week, I actually made $5,856. So $58.56. And for the month, I was worried, but for the month, I made about $20,800 and change, or $20,900, somewhere in there. So good month, average month, needed to be slightly better than that, so we could probably still get there between now and the end of the month. However, I also looked at the charts for blackjack versus slots, and what's keeping me alive right now is slots. From the end of May until now, I'm even in blackjack. So that's very bad, but with an upswing in the last few weeks, so really the last month. So that's good. And really, part of the reason that I had such a good month was that $8,000 hit. So, overall, we're still struggling, but we're going in the right direction. That's all that matters. This afternoon, it's Sunday afternoon. I am leaving home. It's 2 o'clock, and I'm heading out for the night, hoping to be back by 5 o'clock or so. so I can get to work, and we'll see how that goes. First stop is going to be a slots only casino, and then as I'm driving there, I'm going to check out my comps at a few places and decide where to go. I am thinking about going to a casino I've never been to, and it's interesting because my friend 5 a.m. said, "Man, you must love this casino," and he sent me a location, and I'm like, "I've never been there." He was shocked because it's so close to me. It's way closer than a lot of the ones I frequent all the time, but I just don't like the area very much, so I may go there. If I do go there, it's going to be a long drive till my first stop. My first stop is going to be an okay place that cards everyone, so they ask everyone for ID, so that may not be a place to play blackjack, but I could hit them for a few slots. And then the second place would be the place he was talking about. So I'm considering doing that sometime this week. Now, this week, the schedule, obviously today is going to be a normal Sunday. Monday, Tuesday are going to be normal. Wednesday is going to be my last Wednesday not working in the office. And it's also going to be a day where I have a meeting early, like 5 p.m. So I'm going to have to get out of the house probably 4:30 to get back home by 5 p.m. to get to this meeting. It's going to be annoying, and of course it's the last Wednesday that I have freedom. After that, I will lose a third of my income unless I come up with a better solution. So I know there's a lot there, and imagine being the guy going through it right now. All right, we're going to head out, and hopefully this first place that I go to, hopefully there's a host there. I need to talk to them about a Vegas trip and seeing if I can get a room with them so that I can have multiple rooms on the strip. So trying to coordinate all this with all different people. That's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I am back. So I went to this first stop and walked in, started looking around. I actually find a couple plays here and there. I find one play right away. It's about $8 a spin. Hits almost right away. Made a couple hundred on that one. And then another one at about $2 a spin. Made a little bit on that one, like 150 or so. Overall, I didn't have a lot of plays, but I did make decent money. And while I was there, I was hoping to talk to a host about my trip to Vegas. So I did end up working some things out. Oh man, what is this? I did end up working some things out. I called the Wynn and set up a room there, so that's all good. And I was trying to set up a room at Caesars, but they're like the worst. You know, the customer service is just awful at Caesars. But at the Wynn, I ended up getting a room from the 17th to the 20th of November. So hopefully that'll work out with a couple other casinos, Caesars, MGM, and maybe Penn Gaming. I might be able to hook up all those with rooms and get some free stuff from all of them. The reason I want to book Caesars is because they pay for the trip. They give me some free money. The Wynn gives me $750, and I think the M would give me something, although it's not really that great. You know, anything's better than nothing. So I'm going to try to do that. So while I was trying to get a hold of someone at the Wynn, I ended up texting someone else, and they're going to try to get a hold of my new quote host who doesn't have their phone yet. I mean, okay, you guys have hosts that don't have phones yet, but you've already sent the information out to the customer that this is your new host. So whatever. Anyway, let's see what else. While I was in there, there was some kind of a giveaway going on, but I stayed for a couple drawings, but I only stayed there because I was already there. It's not because I was hoping to win. I don't believe in a lot of those unless you have everything worked out and you have an unusually high number of entries. But I really didn't lose money on anything. I did the session ahead $443, and we're continuing on here. So moving on to the next casino, we're going to have to stop and get gas in a little while, and then on the way home as well. But so far so good, and I'll be back to update you after my next stop. Alright guys, I am back. So I'm on my way to the casino I just left, and I'm low on gas. I find a good place. I pull over, and half the pumps have like the bag over the pump, like it's broken or something. So okay, there's still the other half. So there are 4 working pumps at this gas station, and I pull up behind someone, and he's an older guy, and you can tell he's having some problems getting around, and it takes him about 2 minutes to get out of his car. And I'm like, okay, it's all right, take it easy, everything's fine, we're ahead right now, don't worry, no stress. And so it just takes him forever. He finally has to use the car to walk around to try to pump some gas in there, and then he tries to make the credit card work, and something's not working right, and he's leaving. And I'm thinking he's having trouble doing it right, and I was going to offer to help him out, but he gets in his car and he leaves. So I get up there and I see he got $0. I'm like, okay, well, either something is broken, or he just didn't know how to use the credit card machine. So I try to use it. I try to use my I have a one of those cards where you get a discount at that gas station, which I only have at a couple, but anyway, that's not working. So then I see this little tiny message on the screen that says, please pay cashier. Okay, so I go in, pay the cashier, and she said, oh yeah, something's wrong with the pumps. I get back out there, I pump the gas, and I leave, and I'm like 95% full, but you have to tell them up front when you prepay how much you want to put. So I had to guess, but I was pretty close, I think. Anyway, I finally get done with all that. I continue the rest of the way. I get to this place, I get in there, start walking around, and I'm seeing that it's very busy, and it's hard for me to check machines. I see a few people that I know checking already. I find a couple marginal plays, and I play those through, and really that's all I could do. There really wasn't much. I probably played 4 machines the whole time I was in there. I was probably there 35 or 40 minutes if I had to guess, and ended up, I mean, I made money, but it's not a lot of money. Ended up leaving ahead $134. So plus 134, so we're up close to almost 600, just those first 2 stops. So it's not bad. We're going to continue on, and I see this one guy who's a half AP, half just degenerate, and I was just thinking, I need to give this guy a name. I was thinking like Zero Gain or Zero Hero, or I think Zero Gain. Net Zero? Net Zero sounds good, actually. I like Net Zero. Net Below Zero. Maybe I just call him Zero. That's his name from now on. His name is Zero from now on. So whenever I see him, I'm going to refer to him as Zero. I've seen him at probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 7 different casinos in this area within 3-hour range. So he travels some, but it's like, if you don't know what you're doing, or you're just going to waste the money, why waste the time? But anyway, right now, I'm trying to get back on the highway to move on to my next place. We're going to play some blackjack and maybe some slots, we'll see. And hopefully we can make 5 or 6 or 700 at this place. This place is a very suspicious place. It's linked to at least a couple other casinos nearby, and once you're flyered at one of them, you're done at all of them. And at least, I would say all 3 of these casinos that I'm thinking about, there's more than that in the area, but at least 3 of the ones in the area have facial recognition, so you'll be burned there, and I don't want that. So we're going to take it easy on them. And I'll spread a little bit more if I need to, if the count's really high, or I can show a good reason I'm chasing or whatever, and we'll see what happens. So moving on to the next casino, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. I tell you, my car smells so terrible right now. When I took my car in to get these tires rotated, that guy must have been smoking like a chimney. That is so disgusting. I'm gonna have to get something to fumigate this car and send these guys a bill. That's just sick. It smells so bad. And put the windows down here. Man. Anyway, I go into this casino. Of course, it's busy. Young people in here and stuff. And I did get some more video of their security system in here, their cameras and all that kind of stuff, because it's useful. I want to compile all this stuff and just have it all on record in case some of my friends want to come here. I can send it to them and they can see what's going on. So other than that, I went and played some blackjack, and I had to wait a while to have a table to sit at. And I ended up one of 3 people on a table, and it dragged and dragged and dragged, and they complained and complained. And so it took a long time to play shoes, and played for a little while. And finally, thankfully, mercifully, I ended up leaving at the end of a shoe ahead $588. I did end up ahead $568 on table games, which I can't explain to you, but it's $568 total. And then I went and played some slots and was up as much as like 40-50 bucks, was down as much as 300 and something dollars, and I ended the session ahead $1. Probably wasted 10 minutes trying to get that last $25 back, but that's okay. Right now, we are moving on to another casino. It's busy in this area. It's inside of a city. It's a crowded city. So we're going to take our time, get out of town, and move on to another place. We're going to play a couple slots, and then we'll be back and see, I'll update you, let you know what's happening. Right now, this is going to be the slow part of our journey. The next casino, maybe 2 casinos, might not give me a lot of action. Either because it's dead in there and there's nothing open, or it's too busy or something like that. But these casinos don't have a lot of volume, so if they have a few people in there, it could be too busy to play. So we'll see what happens. Right now, I didn't even mention temperature or anything today, but 59 degrees. The sun's already set, of course, and we're moving on. So I'll be back. All right, guys. I am back and just leaving this place now, and I found nothing. It's I walked around and looked at everything, and not even really anything borderline. Maybe something borderline that I wouldn't play, but other than that, there was nothing. So no blackjack, no slots, no nothing. So we're going to move on. We're going to find another place, and hopefully we'll get some blackjack in. I'd like to get at least another $800 or $1,000 or whatever. It would be nice today. We've had a good start so far. So let's continue it, and we'll see what happens. But right now I got a little bit of a drive to the next place, so I'm going to sit back and relax. I've been listening to this Joe Rogan interview with Trump just to see the things that they talked about, and they seem to have pretty good chemistry. So very interested in that. And really, that's about it. Not much going on as far as the betting markets, in my opinion, because I like specific things that are going to be sure things if possible. And the other day, what was it? It was there was a couple football games that were at like 95 or 98 cents. I got those, and they were pretty much done. They were just taking a knee, and the game was over, and picked up that free money. And it's not much right now. I mean, I'm making like dollars, like $10, $20, maybe $50. So I really have a lot to learn about all that and figuring out the right way to do things. And the thing is, I don't really know that much about sports. I have one team and one sport that I really watch, and other than that, I really don't, because I don't want to waste time on all that stuff and be wrapped up in all that stuff. And so the one thing I do like is live betting, and I have done that successfully a few times, but nothing really major, talking about hundreds of dollars. But I don't like doing something unless I know for sure that I have the advantage. And if I'm kidding myself thinking I have the advantage, then I'm not happy. So let me, speaking of that, let's talk about poker for a second. You remember that last day that I played poker, I lost like 400 that day. The funny thing about that is I was looking at my chart, I was trying to update my chart, and I felt like something was wrong with my formula, because for like a month or so it showed 0 for poker. I was actually dead even on poker for a long time, and so I'm down like 400 or whatever for the year. So but I thought that was kind of interesting. Anyway, right now heading off to our next place. We're going to sit back and relax, listen to some more of this interview, and I'll be back. Man, I just made a mistake here. I don't know what I should do here. I got a voucher in my pocket for $400 that I forgot to cash, so let me see how far I am from this place. Go back. Man, not the place I just left, but the place before. I don't know if it makes sense for me to go back now or not. Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah. Man, that's unfortunate. Alright, well, I'm going to backtrack a little bit and go this other place, and just so that I can cash the $400 voucher. I just don't like them because it's not like chips that are, sturdy and stuff like that. This is something that you could rip. It can get warm, and if it's warm, then it can get wiped out and stuff, turn black and stuff, so I don't want to take that risk. So we're going to take a little detour, unfortunately, and we're going to stop and cash this ticket. And hey, you never know. Walking in to cash this ticket, I may see something good and make some money off it. It might be worth it. You never know. So, man, yeah, I feel kind of silly, but it's good that I'm not that far away. And I'm going to hop in there and get this cashed, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back, just walking around this place. It is so hot in here. I'm waiting for a table to open up in high limit, low limit, anywhere where I can play some blackjack, and so far, no good. I did play some slots already, probably for about 15 minutes, 10 minutes, somewhere in there. And right now, as far as machines, I'm ahead $217. But other than that, a lot of noise and a lot of heat, walking around, and don't pay any attention to any of the noises behind me, because none of these are any good, just walking through this area. So don't think I'm trying to give you a hint on anything. But I'm going to go back around here to the lower limit and see if I can find something else. So far I played 2 machines. One of them for about 10 spins and one of them for about 20 spins. Biggest bet was $2 a spin, so anything's possible, And the first thing I saw when I walked in here was a guy checking machines, so, I let him have the ones in the front that were low opportunity, and they take forever to check, and I moved on to better ones. So, oh man, this part of the casino is much cooler, like 10 or 15 degrees cooler. Let me walk around this area, see what I can do. Maybe we can find a table, and I'll come back and update you. Alright guys, I am back. So hopefully you can hear me pretty well. Not too much noise here. I think it's probably less noisy than my car though. So I did play a little bit of blackjack, lower limit. Played for about, 35 minutes or so, going like 1 to 5, and I left at the end of a shoe plus 300. So hey, 300 is 300. So we're taking that, and made another $1 on the slots. So whatever that makes it, 218 or whatever on the slots, 300 on the blackjack. 518 is not bad for one stop. So right now I'm heading over to the cashier, and then I should have some free food. We'll go get some free food so I can talk to my friends about how tasty it is. And yeah, so that's what's going on right now. It's kind of quiet in here considering where it is. Not that much going on. Football's on TV, but not that many people here considering. So anyway, gonna go cash this out and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, just leaving this casino. Well, I had a dealer who knew everything about gambling, and he's been a dealer for like 30 something years. Very knowledgeable, had no clue about anything at all. Everything that he told the player to do was wrong. He liked to say things like, I wouldn't do it, and things like that, and had no clue about the right way to play things, which tells you something. You know, I mean, dealers are ploppies just like players are ploppies. And if you're stuck in a casino all the time and you see people winning by doing this and losing by doing this, then all of a sudden you start to decide for yourself the right way to do it based on your experience, which means nothing, and the math is what matters. But we ended up ahead $300 blackjack, $218 on slots. Hopefully you could hear that. And got some food. I actually got a nice double bacon steak cheeseburger. Very nice. Except for the box that it was in was like exactly the same size as the burger, so I had to turn it upside down just to get it out of the box. But other than that, it was really good. So right now I have had to decide the next place to go. There's a place that's close by. It's only like 35 minutes away, but the opportunity is so low there. I'm worried that there's going to be a local there taking the few things that are there. It's just not worth it for me to drive there. So we're going to move on to another casino and see what we can do there. I think I'm up like over 1,600 so far today, so it's a good start. I did finish that interview, all this driving that I've been doing. Watched the whole interview at like 1.5 times speed, so it was a 3-hour interview, so finished it in a few hours. But it was pretty good. I can't say that there's any new information that I learned from it, any explosive, amazing thing that was going on. Trump did mention a little bit about how he has certain evidence of certain things, and that books have been written about it and things like that, and he just left it like that. And I think he asked for Joe Rogan to kind of join him, and I don't think Joe Rogan said anything either way, but it's obvious that Rogan leans toward Trump. But I don't think that he wants to commit to anything. I mean, when you have a big audience like that, you can do whatever you want, but why say, well, I give the middle finger to half your audience for no reason, right? So he's not going to gain anything from it. So anyway, it's still pretty early, actually, considering. So right now it's looking like I'll probably be home about 4. But we still have a long way to go before that. A lot of things can happen. A lot of things can change. So letting you go right now, and it's going to be a little while. I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. Just leaving the next spot. Getting kind of late. And actually didn't think that much was going to happen, but I found a play right away and played that roller coaster like you wouldn't believe. There was a play at 2 different levels. Played them both. The lower level actually took my money. The higher level got me back, and I was ahead about 100 and something, 150 maybe, after I left that machine. So walked around, looked at some other stuff, found another one, and I studied that one for a while because there was a lot of math to do on that one, and decided that it was a good play. And I played it, and I hit, but not what I was going for. So that made it a borderline play, and then I wasn't sure. I walked around, wasted a couple dollars here and there, and then came back to it. And when I came back to it, there were 3 Chinese people standing there, a lady and 2 guys, and they were discussing it. And I told them I had just hit it, and I don't know what they were talking about, but they weren't really sure what to do. And at that point, I had decided that if it was still there, I was going to play it. But they were just standing there talking about it for a long time, so I thought maybe I'd just take a walk and come back and see if it's still there. So I took a walk, came back, and they were playing it. And when I left, they were down about 300 and something on there. And the EV was going to be anywhere between minus 80 to plus 250, probably. And at this point, where they were, I would say their EV now is probably minus 400 to probably plus, I don't know, 100 maybe. So I got lucky there. I probably would have lost money on the play. But, you know, technically it's not a play, but just the way that it is, that's why they had to stop and think about it for a while. And I'm glad they took it, because I would have lost money on it. Anyway, I ended up leaving that session ahead $274. So a nice day shaping up, nice day. And we're starting to get close to 2,000. If we can make another 150 or so at the next spot, we'll be at 2,000 for the day. Nice price, you know, so that's all good. So right now, you would not believe how cold it got all of a sudden. When I walked in there, it was 37 degrees outside. It just plummeted. The temperature just dropped like crazy. And I'm just getting going here in the car. It'll probably drop below 37 at this point. So, yeah, all in all, so far, been a good day. We can do some of our stuff right now. What did you eat today, MW? Today, after church, we ended up, a couple of the kids were working at like a concession stand. It kind of raises money for the ball fields in our area, and so they were busy there. And then we took one of our kids, our daughter, to a Japanese steakhouse. And it was actually pretty funny because some of the people there were dressed up in Halloween costumes, and our waitress, who's Asian, was dressed up as Daphne from Scooby-Doo, which was pretty funny. And we had a good meal there. I had the chicken, whatever that they grill on the grill with white rice, and I know it's not good for you, egg yolk sauce, which was so delicious. You put a little too much on there, but it was really good, and some hot tea, and really enjoyed that with the family, with the wife and one of the kids. And then I took them home and relaxed for a minute, and I took off for my trip. So then a little while ago, I had that double bacon cheeseburger, steak burger thing, and that was pretty good too. So I would say the Japanese steakhouse, I would probably give a 10 on a scale of 2 through ace, and the steak burger also probably a 10 on 2 through ace. So, you know, I don't get a lot of bad meals these days because I'm so picky about what I eat. You know, if I'm not sure, then I get something that I know is going to be safe, like a chicken strips or something like that, then I'm not going to take too big of a risk. But some of these things are just disgusting that you see in some of these places. All right, so we're going to continue on right now, and we'll check out the next spot, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. Well, we almost made it. We almost made it the whole way through the day without a losing session, but here we are. So, trying to think here. I played one major play, and that was really it. And ended up losing on that one. I played a couple tiny plays. Really didn't go anywhere one way or another on those. Oh boy, man. Oh. Tired. Gotta be at work in whatever, six hours or something. Gonna head toward home. It was pretty quiet in there. Not the kind of crowd that you want to be around. Who's gonna be at a casino at 2 o'clock in the morning, Monday morning? So that's the crowd that was in there. Some very odd people in there, and some scary people, and some people you want to feel bad for, and but that's the way the world is. Unfortunately, when we have our freedom, we also have the consequences that come with our freedom. But anyway, I ended up down $217 on that one. So, I mean, overall, not a bad day. Made whatever, 15. Let's see what we can add it up here. 480, 580, 10, 50, 1550, 1750. Well, really? No. That much? Let me add this again here. There's no way. 4, 5, 80, 6, 11, 50, 12, 13, 70, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 40, about 1720. Not a bad day. Not a bad day at all. I was actually not very happy there at the end, but knowing all that, it was definitely a worthwhile day. So anyway, right now I'm going to need to stop for gas again in a little while. We're heading toward home. I'm going to have a miserable day tomorrow at the office, and Tuesday I'm probably going to confront my manager about some stuff that I'm not very happy about that he's done, and we'll see where that goes. Let me check my calendar. Today is a darn busy day. Halloween costume contest. Do you put that on a calendar? That meeting doesn't matter. That one doesn't matter. I got a 1 o'clock meeting with the director. Tomorrow, it looks like I only have 3 meetings as of right now. So both days could be okay. Biggest thing is going to be to talk to management and see exactly what they're expecting right now, because I'm not happy with some of the direction that I'm getting from them. So anyway, now I'm going to head home, listen to some podcasts, and relax, stop for gas here in a little while. Oh my goodness, that's a cheap gas station. $2.40. Wow. But it's closed. When you get into the middle of the Midwest, it's so funny sometimes. I mean, it's funny and sad at the same time. It's like the COVID days. You'll be out in the middle of nowhere, and it's 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and the gas stations are closed, and you're like, okay, next gas station is 12 miles away. I hope it's open. I've got 30, 40 miles range, and it's happened so many times to me where it's so close, that so close to running out of gas when you get there, that if they're not open, you might have to wait at the gas station until they open, because there's no one else around. But luckily, I've gotten through it and never had that happen, but I've had some close calls. The other day, actually, I don't know what day it was, maybe Friday, I was on my way home, and I wasn't paying attention. I looked down, and it says range 0 miles, and I don't know how long it was on 0, at least a couple minutes, and luckily I was only about a mile away from the next exit, and I was able to pull off, and there was a gas station right there, but that one could have been a disaster. Anyway, everything is good. We're moving forward, heading toward home. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Wait, don't go anywhere. What did you tip today, MW? We didn't talk about that. I actually did tip today. I tipped a dealer $2.50. Actually, I didn't tip it directly. I bet it for him, and he won the bet. So I tipped $2.50, which turned into $5. So anyway, if you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.